champagne rosé. It's my game. Please fill my cup, champagne rosé. It's my name. Please drink me up, champagne rosé. What's going on? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Get ready for another episode of Unpopular Opinion. I'm your host, Gran Jefe, like I am every single day of the week. Joined as always by my co-host, OG Raw in Washington State. Hey, bro, how you doing today, man?
Oh, man, you know what it is. It's a great day, great morning. The sun is shining here, so it's going to be a good day to talk some sports, man. Let's get into it.
Talk some sports it is. We want to welcome you guys to the show today. Today is Monday. I believe today is the 28th, if my memory serves me correct. We'd like to thank you guys for continuing to download the podcast, but let's get into this, man. We had breaking news this morning. Hey, man, I woke up early this morning like I do every morning, about 7 o'clock-ish. And I get on Instagram, like, man, I need to find another show to talk about. Another topic to talk about for the show today. You know, and as soon as I open up Instagram, boom, I see the news. Anthony Davis has requested a trade from the New Orleans Pelicans and have informed them, or Rich Paul, I should say, his agent, has informed them that he does not intend to sign the extension that they will give him this summer, and he wants a trade. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying all year that Boston was the best team to get him in this trade scenario because they had the most pieces. Obviously, they can get rid of Tatum, they can get rid of Brown, they can get rid of Smart, they can get rid of Rozier. You know, they have a number of pieces, but the Rose rule disallows the Celtics to not be able to get Anthony Davis until the summertime, unless they package him with a deal that includes Kyrie Irving. The Rose rule states that it gives the players coming off of their rookie deal a 30% of the salary cap instead of 25% of the salary cap. To be eligible for this, it says a player must achieve one of the three accolades during the first 4 seasons of their career, which means their rookie contract. It can either be an MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year award, or 2 All-NBA selections, which Davis and Kyrie both have 2 All-NBA selections before their rookie contract was over with. So that states now that the Celtics cannot trade for Anthony Davis unless Kyrie Irving is in that deal to go to New Orleans, which I don't think will happen, which now brings the Lakers front and center. What do you make of all this?
Bro, there is no loyalty in business. And I repeat, there is no loyalty in business. Basketball is a business. Football is a business. We all know this, bro. It happens every year. A big player get traded, and we're like, what the heck happened? What happened?
Yep.
Either the team's not loyal or the player's not loyal to the organization. And can you blame the player? Because the organization would turn their back on you in a minute and trade you out of town.
And not even look back.
And don't even look back or regret it. Well, they will probably regret a player like Anthony Davis. Let's get that straight.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis is a
superior
talent. Exactly. You don't just find a player like him playing at your local gym. So
yeah.
Let's get that out the way. He's a superior talent. And what I see from this, man, I see Anthony Davis, a fan of Anthony Davis, and I remember he said he would not ask for a trade.
Yep, he would not demand it. Yep.
And now look what we have. I remember growing up, Billy, and watching players play for the same team for their whole career. We never saw a trade. And nowadays, we watch these sports, and I can barely keep up, man. If it wasn't for 2K or Madden,
2K automatically update that roster, boy. They give us
exactly. I wouldn't know who plays,
especially in football, because it's so many players in the NFL, man. That if you really don't aren't dialed in, and even if you are dialed in, it's still hard to keep track of 53 players for 32 teams. That's tough, man.
Exactly. Tough. And I give you an example. I was playing Madden the other day, and I was like, Mike Wallace still play football? What? I thought because the last team
don't he play for the Baltimore Ravens? I think he got hurt earlier in the year with Baltimore, and that's kind of it kind of hurt his chances later on down the year, I believe. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, so I'm not even sure if he plays for
unless they traded him
for Baltimore, because I seen him on the Chargers on the game. I'm like, what is going on? I don't know, bro. See that, and that's the thing. That's the point we are at with sports, and we don't know who plays for who anymore.
We only keep up with the big stars.
Yeah, we keep up with the stars, because I remember Mike Wallace being that man in Pittsburgh, and then going to Miami and still being kind of that man. After Miami, I have no clue where he went.
Yeah, he fell off.
And this happens to so many other players. Unless you are a superstar, the loyalty factor in business, it doesn't exist.
Even superstars, bro.
And even when you are a superstar, this just shows there is no loyalty in business. Anthony Davis probably caught wind of, hey, the Pelicans are probably going to trade me. I got to get ahead of this power curve before they dish me out to somewhere I don't really want to go. Because look what the Spurs did to Kawhi.
And DeMar DeRozan. That ownership group had just told him a week before they traded him to San Antonio that he wasn't going to be traded. They said, you're good. You're not getting traded. Guess what? A week later, he's shipping his bags from Toronto back into the States. So, there's no loyalty in sports. I agree with you there. Now, what did this mean for Anthony Davis, or what this mean for the NBA? What this means is the Lakers have a front row seat to getting Anthony Davis. We're going to talk about it later on in the show, but I believe they'll give up the house for it. I was in a group chat with Matthew Lyle. Make sure you guys tune in on Wednesday. We have an interview with Matthew Lyle, and on Thursday we have an interview with Washington Redskins running back Chris Thompson. So you guys stay tuned for that. And on Friday, our weekly interview with Michael Buckheister. But he posed a question to me. He said if the Pelicans wanted Ingram, Ball, Lonzo, and Josh Hart, would you give it to him? I'd give it to him in a heartbeat. We won't even have to sign a contract. Y'all just have him. Just give me Anthony Davis. So that means Anthony Davis wants to go to the Lakers. We already kind of assumed that when he signed with Clutch Sports, which is LeBron James' marketing agency company, and he has LeBron's agent, Rich Paul. Once that happened and he switched over to Clutch Sports, we kind of knew that this was coming. Then you start hearing the rumors come out.
And since we're talking about it, we're going to go ahead and just get to it. And since we're talking about it right now, this is going to be a major overhaul of this young Lakers team.
Yeah, what do you do with those young stars? Who do you trade for Anthony Davis? If Royal Ford is Rob Pelinka, whatever his name is, and Magic Johnson, because I think Magic Johnson is ultimately the one that's making these moves. If you're Magic Johnson, for Anthony Davis, you know that this is possible. Not like, oh, it's a possibility. Not like, I don't know if we got a shot. You know this is a possibility. Who do you give up for Anthony Davis?
In order to get a superstar talent that is ready right now, like Anthony Davis, we're gonna have to trade them young pieces away. And to
How
me,
many? And
to me, it's not a big deal because we're trying to win right now, right? Because the NBA is a win now league. That's why we see players teaming up. This is how we got 2 championships in Miami with LeBron. This is how we got the super team like Golden State Warriors. Players are teaming up right now, man. Great players want to win now. And with these Lakers, and they got an aging LeBron with, this groin injury that didn't heal as well as we thought it was going to heal, or as fast as we thought it was going to heal. Man, look, everybody can go. Everybody can go. And and that's what the Lakers organization is thinking right now, because maybe this is the beginning of an end for LeBron.
So what you're saying is they saying if it's not LeBron, as long as it's not LeBron, you can have anybody else.
Exactly. And with the thought of this, with LeBron being hurt, like I said, no one thought this injury would last this long. LeBron has never faced this kind of adversity when it comes to injury in his career.
I think he's good, but I think since it's a regular season and because they're not really – nobody is expecting them to win a title this year, I think he's doing the smart – him and his camp, they're doing the smart thing, and they're saying, LeBron, we know that you can come back. Because Rich Paul came out and said it about 2 weeks ago, that if this was the playoffs, LeBron would be playing, which means to tell me that he's good enough to play. So not playing, that just tells me, listen, we're taking it easy because we don't have any expectations this year anyways. So
But
why rush him back out there for him to potentially hurt it again?
this is true. Like, why rush him out there? Especially when the Lakers just look pathetic without LeBron.
And
They
LeBron
don't
can
even
get
look
him
like
back
they
in the
have any
playoffs.
poise. And you know, LeBron can do it himself, of course. He didn't get them to the playoffs. We've seen him do it a number of times, taking bum teams to the playoffs and even going to, you know, the finals with these bum teams.
Yep.
And as much as Kuzma is balling out, guess what, Kuzma? You are tradable.
He has the highest trade value.
Exactly. Lonzo, an injury does not stop you from getting traded. You're tradable. Ingram, you already know what time it is. You're getting traded. Hart, I'm sure you know deep down inside your heart that you are probably getting traded.
Deep down inside your heart.
For real. No one is safe, especially when it comes to, you know, to getting replaced by a superstar talent. Man, I'm sure anybody would be, like, anybody on that roster would be getting traded if it need to be, man. I don't care who you are traded. If your name is not LeBron James, you are tradable.
So I ask you this question then, you know, just segue into this. Do you think that this Anthony Davis move now puts them over Golden State? Because I'm going to be honest with you. This move still does nothing for my meter on who's going to win the title, how bad they're going to win the title. Now, instead of maybe it being a sweep, maybe they get one game or 2 games maybe. LeBron can get you one, Anthony Davis can get you another. But it won't be any competition. The Warriors are still the best team. They have Steph Curry, who's nobody talking about, who probably should be the league MVP. But since he's on the team with 4 other guys, nobody would say anything. Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, who probably should be in consideration for MVP again, but nobody's going to give him that because he's playing with Steph. And then you add Boogie Cousins to that. I don't think this moves make a difference because, one, I tell you what, man, listen, you get Anthony Davis, but you're going to have to give up at least 3 of your young stars. You're going to have to give up for sure. Lonzo is gone. Lonzo gone in any deal and any package deal that you put together. Lonzo is going to be a part of that. Lonzo is gone. You can probably pretty much guess Brandon Ingram gonna be gone. Now, it's up to either is it Kuz or is it Hart? But do you think the Pelicans is gonna want Josh Hart? No. So they're gonna want Kuz. They're gonna want to get at least equal amount of value back for Anthony Davis, and Josh Hart and Lonzo Ball just don't do that for him. So you're gonna have to package Ingram, Lonzo, and Brandon Ingram in order to get Anthony Davis. Now, who do you have on your team? I don't. It's still not enough. And New Orleans win this trade. If you talk about winners and losers, yeah, the Lakers get Anthony Davis, woohoo. But guess what? You'll never win a championship as long as the Golden State Warriors is who they are. And even if KD leaves, they still gonna have Steph, Clay, and Draymond, the same team that won 73-9. So, are you really getting over?
And I agree with your statement. Anthony Davis does not make the Lakers, a Western Conference.
It makes them better, though.
Champion. It does make them better, but it doesn't make them a Western Conference champion at all in any aspect. You still need pieces to go along with him and LeBron. They can't do it alone. I don't care who you are. You're not going to be the Golden State Warrior team with just 2 superstar players. You're going to need at least one more player to come out there that give you another 20, 30 points,
Yeah.
So, because the Golden State Warriors, they can really fill up. You got 5 starters that can easily drop 20, 23 on your head like it's nothing. And, 5 times 20, what is that?
Hey, and they're going to leave Draymond Green open a lot like they did that year that the Cleveland Cavaliers won it. But if you remember, they left him open a lot, and Draymond Green, he had 27 in that game 7 that the Cavs won. So, I mean, all those guys can fill it up. You leave Draymond open too many times, he's going to hit him. Boogie, we know he can take over a game. KD, Steph, Clay, we seen what these guys can do. And now what that does attract more people that probably want to come play in LA, But Kawhi Leonard already said he wants his own team, and he stated he wants to go to the Clippers. Will Kyrie leave Boston? I don't know.
If the Lakers want to beat the Warriors, their best bet is not to play the Warriors. And I say this because of the seeding.
So they should avoid that
They should
7th or 8th
avoid.
seed.
Yeah, they should avoid that 7 or 8 seed if they don't want to play the Warriors. They should try to make someone else beat them because the Lakers won't beat them. It just won't happen. I believe another team could probably sneak something over them. Maybe like the OKC Thunder, just because
they have the pieces.
They have the pieces. They have the talent. They have a big three themselves. They have Westbrook, Paul George, and Steven Adams.
People overlook Steven Adams, man. They overlook the significance of this guy, grabbing boards, playing defense, and he's a much improved scorer than what he was even last year, but definitely 4 years ago when they first made it to the NBA Finals. This guy is a monster on the glass. And they're a great defensive team because you can bring Schroeder off the bench. Once Robertson get better, however you say his name, that team is going to be even better. Jeremy Grant. They have good long defenders, Westbrook and Paul George, to add to that. So the OKC Thunder, they are a sneaky team moving towards this playoff stretch. But let me ask you this. This also came out this past weekend, a report about LeBron's camp would prefer Luke Walton to get fired. One, do you believe this? Two, do you agree with this?
Billy, we knew this was coming. And yes, the Los Angeles Lakers, they deserve a coaching change. First of all, if I'm LeBron James, what is the coach who was once a player drafted in my draft class, and he was drafted below me at that? Because let me get this out of the way. I went number one. You know what I'm saying? I went number one. So what are you going to tell me that I don't already know? What are you going to coach me that I don't already know? And second thing, what has Luke Walton accomplished since LeBron's injury? Or even before LeBron got to L.A.? Right now, we are talking about a Lakers team who has won the 6 of 16 games. 6 of 16. And that's without LeBron. Which is insane to think about because we lost against teams like the Cavaliers.
Portland. Sacramento when they wasn't good.
You know what I'm saying? Like teams that aren't even good at all.
Minnesota the other day that didn't even have a point guard.
Yeah. Like how are we losing these games? Come on, Luke. We knew this was coming. A better question I think would be who's the next head coach candidate for the Los Angeles Lakers? I think that's the better question.
Well, let's go there. Let's go there before I make my go at it. Who do you want? Or who do you think should be the next coach of the Los Angeles Lakers?
I really want LeBron to have a great coach, or like a championship coach, like a coach that can coach, not just sitting on the bench. And for me, the candidates are slim pickings right now, man. For me, it's slim pickings because we know Phil ain't coming out. Phil ain't coming to the Lakers to do no coaching.
Nope.
And we know what options do we have?
If I had my go at it right now, somebody, because one, you're picking a coach really for LeBron. That's really what you're doing. When you got LeBron, you knew everything was going to be about him from that point going forward. So if that's the case, then why not pick the coach? I would go with Mark Jackson. I think Mark Jackson would be able to get the best out of LeBron. Not to mention a guy that LeBron could respect, a guy who was a point guard in this league, a guy who was good in this league, who if he says something to LeBron, LeBron can't look at it and say, well, who is you? Well, Mark Jackson credentials speak for themselves. Not to mention Mark Jackson to be over the top about trying to take down Golden State because I feel he was unjustly fired, which a lot of people think he was unjustly fired, and I'm sure he do too. This man was third seed in the West after having a 56, I believe, win season or a 60-win season, and they fired him for Steve Kerr. So I'm sure he'll be excited to do that. And if you give him LeBron James and Anthony Davis, no telling what he could do. No matter there's no telling what kind of free agents that these guys will be able to attract in the offseason. You got Magic Johnson running the show. Then you got Mark Jackson second in charge, and you have LeBron, and you have Anthony Davis. If you a free agent, wouldn't you want to go play for something like that? I would.
That's a super lineup right there. That is a super lineup. And Mark Jackson to your point, Mark Jackson is a great candidate. I really like that pick.
Yeah.
And what you stated, that is all like 100. Like that is 100, bro. Like
Yeah, you
I
think about
like
all the
it.
coaches LeBron has had. He's never had a guy that was a good coach, or B, that was good in the league. Well, you got both of them. Mark Jackson was good in the league, and he was a good coach. So I think that helps. I think Luke was already over his head before this even started. I think Luke got a lot of unfair hype because of what he did when he coached the Golden State Warriors in Steve Kerr absence 2 years ago. And let's not forget that team won 73 games. I mean, this team was already in the NBA Finals, won it the year prior, beat LeBron James. So it's not like he was coaching scrubs. And I think Luke Walton got unfair hype because of that, and they made him the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. And he's over his head. Even when he coached the young guys last year, they only won 35 games. So it's not like he was good last year. So what do we expect this year, especially once LeBron went down? Once LeBron went down, well, now you see Luke Walton being Luke Walton, who he has been over the year prior to that, and before he actually took over playing with Steph Curry, who had already won an MVP and all that other stuff. So, yeah, he was already over his head to begin with. So I never liked the move of having him there. And I think you have to get a better coach in there now. Now, the Lakers came out and said that Luke is fine and all this other stuff. I think that's just lip service.
This goes back to there is no loyalty in business. There is zero loyalty in business. They can say what they want, but that is lip service, and we know that. If LeBron kept say, hey, look, man, it's time for a coach to change, we knows what happened. David Black, where he at? Where David Black? Hey, is David Black back overseas? Because I know he ain't coaching in the NBA. Tyronn Lue, take some time, brother. Take some time off.
That's the only.
You might not have a job, all right?
Hey, that's the only way. That's the only way that Tyronn Lue even got that job, because LeBron endorsed him, that Ty was the guy. So I think a Mark Jackson would be great for the Los Angeles Lakers as of now. But we'll see how long they continue to ride with Luke. I think what they are going to do is wait till after they get Anthony Davis, because I think the belief is they will get Anthony Davis now, because they are the front runner. It's been on every news site all this morning. I can't even get on Instagram because every freaking media outlet is talking about Anthony Davis to the Lakers. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to wait until after they get Anthony Davis around after the All-Star break, and they're going to see how him and LeBron and Anthony Davis gel together. And if he's not winning games then I think that's when Luke get the boot. Until then, I don't think that Luke is going anywhere. And that report that LeBron James camp prefers Lakers to make a coaching change, that came from Brian Windhorst and Jackie McMullen.
And Brian Windhorst is on top of
he's on everything
LeBron
everything
does, so.
LeBron, he's on it.
Yep.
And Jackie McMullen, if you're not familiar with her work, she's a very, very good reporter. And what she says is not to be taken lightly. So this is a serious possibility, or a serious thing coming out of the LeBron James camp, that they don't want Luke Walton there. Now, how do you think that make Luke feel, man? When guys like this are reporting, it's different if it's just some small time LA, reporter, or somebody that don't nobody know. This is Brian Windhorst, who's been following LeBron James since he was about 13 years old.
You know how I think it makes Luke feel? I don't care how it makes him feel. I want to win, Luke. I need to see results, Luke. So either you get with the program or you can get lost. And I think this is just their way of telling them, look, man, either you start coaching like a coach or you can get lost. This is just a warning. These are shots fired. These are warning shots.
It's definitely warning shots.
Get with the program or you will be gone.
It's definitely warning shots. And the thing about this is, right, like, LeBron always give you a chance to see how much basketball knowledge you know. It's been, that's been well documented. How LeBron is. he's going to give you a chance to see it. Hey, if this guy's the smartest, people think he is, can he lead? And when he find out that you can't, that's when it's time for you to go. And I think he's reached that point with Luke, and I think Luke is probably coached his final days in the NBA. So let's switch gears, man, to our final topic of the day. We're gonna have more about this. Remember, it's Super Bowl week, so we will be getting into some Super Bowl talk tomorrow. But moving to the NFL, man, this Pro Bowl, I want to get your thoughts on this. This has been a question, obviously, among people for a long time, and that's, should the Pro Bowl be removed?
Look, I'm gonna ask you two questions, Billy. Did you watch the Pro Bowl this year?
I watched pieces of it. I couldn't. It was unwatchable to me.
Okay, so when was the last time you watched a full Pro Bowl?
I was still in high school for sure.
Exactly. So okay, I didn't watch it this year. I didn't watch it last year, and I didn't watch it the year before that. I just didn't, bro. Like I didn't, and I hate to be that way, but I'm not going to watch a glorified pickup game of football. And I'm sure other people feel the same way. I mean, I watch football. This is why I watch football. I watch football because I like to see the competition. I like defense. I like big hits. And lastly, it's nothing like watching your favorite team wreck another team you dislike. It's nothing like it. It gives you bragging rights. You can talk trash. But the Pro Bowl is none of that. It's none of that, Billy. There's no defense being played. There's no real competition going on. Players aren't hitting hard. And even though my Chicago Bears had an impressive 7 players selected as Pro Bowlers, it is not enough to make me want to watch that game. And I get it. Players don't want to get hurt. And that's fine. I don't blame them. But I do think it's something we can do about this, man. It's something that the NFL can do. It's kind of like leaving, it's kind of like leaving milk and cookies off for Santa. You know what I mean? I don't think we can do away with it, but I think at some point, hey, Santa gonna get tired of milk and cookies. You know what I mean? He gonna get tired of milk and cookies. Give him a steak or something. We gotta change it up, make it healthy for him or something, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's the problem. And I said this earlier this morning on RTF. And the thing about it is, this is not like the NBA, where in the NBA they don't have rules that you can't do in the NBA All-Star game. Like you can play defense in the All-Star game. You can hard foul and you can do all the other stuff that you would normally do in a basketball game. And let's just be honest, seeing somebody throw an alley is way better than really a touchdown pass to me. I like seeing high flying alley-oops and all that other stuff. Football as a whole is more fun, but I'm just talking about in the All-Star games. Now let's take it over to the NFL. The NFL make it so that you cannot play real football. The NFL Pro Bowl makes it so that the stuff that actually makes football fun, they take that away. You can't play man coverage. You can't blitz. You can't hit the quarterback. All that stuff is looked down. Well, that stuff is actually in the rules. Hits are looked down upon. That's why it was so shocking when Sean Taylor hit that punter, years ago, because that stuff you just don't see in the Pro Bowl. So the only way that they can make the Pro Bowl fun again is if they make it real rules. You can press, you can blitz, you can do all this other stuff. Because then instead of playing to not get hurt, guys are actually playing then. In the Pro Bowl, these guys are trying not to get hurt, which means you're not going to see a fun game, which means you are going to see Mike Evans playing cornerback. I don't want to see that crap. I don't want to see Mike Evans playing cornerback. I want to see Mike Evans running the go route, mossing the DB. That's what I want to see.
That's what I want to see.
I don't want to see Patrick Mahomes doing 6 no-look passes because he know there's no consequences. I don't want to see that crap, man. I do not. I don't want to see Jalen Ramsey line, although I love him, Florida State alum. Go knows. I don't want to see him lining up wide and running a slant route, probably tearing his ACL, doing something he probably shouldn't even be doing in the first place. Not saying he can't do it, but I don't want to see that. I don't want to see him catching touchdown passes.
And this game, this accolade means so much to the players, man, because it's an honor. At the end of the day, it's an honor to be selected as a Pro Bowler. You get incentives for being selected as a Pro Bowler. I'm talking extra money. I'm talking like big incentives that actually matter in their lives. And for us to just keep doing this game the way they are doing it,
it's pitiful, man. It's pitiful.
It's pathetic. I can't sit and watch that. I can't do it. I don't think anyone can.
Bro,
and
it was so
why
bad.
their ratings.
It was so bad, bro.
The way
it was so bad. I can't. How can you put that on TV for people?
Yeah.
Not to mention, it's not like the NBA where in the NBA or in the MLB, all the best players are playing. Ain't nobody passing up a chance to play in the Pro Bowl. I mean, in the Major League All-Star game or in the NBA All-Star game. Guys ain't passing up that opportunity. Why in the NFL guys are passing up the opportunity to go to the Pro Bowl, which is the reason why we got guys like Deshaun Watson in the Pro Bowl and Mitchell Trubisky in the Pro Bowl. And Jarvis Landry. No. I'm keep going. And Jarvis Landry and Joe Bettino, both of my Cleveland Brown guys, because guys are passing up the opportunity to play in something that's supposed to be fun. That automatically tells you what the NFL or how these guys view the Pro Bowl. The whole NFC roster was all alternates, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's basically all alternates.
No. The quarterbacks, the quarterbacks, that is. They were all alternates.
The quarterbacks,
and even in the AFC, everybody except for Patrick Mahomes, and I do believe if Patrick Mahomes had already been to the Pro Bowl before, Patrick Mahomes probably would have skipped this. But since this is his very, very first Pro Bowl, of course he wasn't going to pass up that opportunity. Because if not, then all the AFC quarterbacks wouldn't have been in the Super Bowl, including Brady. And people are going to say, well, he's in a Super Bowl. Well, even when Brady didn't make the Super Bowl, he still wasn't going to play in the Pro Bowl. So I think the NFL got to do something about this epidemic, man.
And maybe they can change it into like an award ceremony or something. I'd rather watch an award ceremony for the Pro Bowl instead of watch that sorry gameplay.
Or just give me the skills challenge.
Yeah, the skills challenge. Now,
just name Pro Bowlers. Name Pro Bowlers, and then ask who want to go to the skill challenge, and those people go. And because that's better. The ratings for that is probably better than the Pro Bowl. I didn't even know when the Pro Bowl was. I thought the Pro Bowl was on Saturday, and then I had looked on Thursday at one point because I heard it was coming on. Nobody even know when the Pro Bowl is. So I think just name the Pro Bowlers like you do the all pro team. Do that for the Pro Bowler and say, hey, if you want to go to the skills challenge, go to the skills challenge. We'll do that a week and all that other stuff. But something got to be said about this Pro Bowl, because this is not entertaining to watch.
I agree.
It's just not entertaining to watch. But that's going to be it for today's show, guys. Make sure that you guys tune in every single weekday of the week, right here with your co-host Grant Hefe, my co-host OG Raw. You want to take us out of here, bro?
Oh yeah, as always, be kind to one another, love one another. Hey, I'm OG Raw signing off. Have a blessed day.
We see you guys tomorrow.